Hello students, this is lecture number 5, Introduction to Programming with C++. So as you all have seen the previous videos, so this is a continuation of from the previous video of C++. Okay, so today we shall be learning about data types. What are data types in C++, how to use them, what is the meaning of data types. Then we shall be learning about variables. Okay, we create variables, how to create variables, how it consumes the memory, what is a variable in accordance with the memory. Then keywords, what are keywords in C++, and lastly we shall have a brief look at the overall structure of a C++ program. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin the video. So introduction to programming, data types. Now firstly, data types. What are data types, students? See, from this word itself, data type, we come to know the meaning of this word. Okay, data type means the type of data. Okay, see, type of data means what? Let us take the example of any kind of data. Let's say ABC, or maybe 1, 2, 3, or maybe suppose house number 1, XYZ lane. Okay, so all these are different kinds of data. Right? For example, one more example, let's say 12.28 gram. So these all are different kinds of data, right? So in C++, to represent these different kinds of data, what type of data it is, we use certain data types. Okay, for example, this contains ABC. ABC, what is ABC? It is a collection of characters. For example, our name. For example, let's say Rohan. Rohan is a name. So it is composed of characters from, let's say, A to Z. Okay, so these all are made up of characters. Now let us take the second example, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this 1, 2, 3, or maybe let's say another number, 5648. Okay, so all these kind of data, they fall under which type? These all are integer types, right? So these all kinds of data are of the type integer, right? So when it is integer type data, we use int. Okay, we use int. So this is one data type, right? Then this. So now in C++, we treat this as a string. Okay, we treat this as a string. So what is string? This can be called as a string. An array of characters, right? This can be called as a string. Now how to represent it? What is the data type? We represent it using char, characters. We have a certain size for it, let's say 20. Okay, so this is one data type of C++. Then coming to the last one, this one. Okay, so since you see there is a point here, right? There is a point here. So 12.28, 13.653. So all these are what? Decimals. For that, the data type we use is float, or in some cases we use double. Okay, in some cases we use double. So depending on the type of data, what kind of data it is, okay, what kind of data we are using, we use different kinds of data type. Okay, so what are the different kinds of data type that we use? Int, then char, float, or maybe double. Okay, float, double, int, char. So all these are the basic data types. These are the basic data types, or these are the basic types of data in C++ that we operate on. Okay, Now next coming to variables. Now how is variable and data types being related, we will see. Then comes variables. Now variables, what are variables? Variables, see, variables are the most important thing you should know while building up a C++ program or any program. Okay, variables are what? Variables are something which help you to create a memory block. See, a computer's memory is like this, as I told you in my earlier videos also, right? It is being broken up into various blocks. This is suppose the computer's memory. So these are the various memory blocks, right? These are the various memory blocks. Now whenever we want to perform any operation, for example, let's say we want to do addition of two numbers. Okay, addition of two numbers. So see, in computer everything works with memories. Okay, in computer science everything works with memories. Now when we want to do the addition of these two numbers, first of all we have to take in account of the computer's memory. Okay, so here comes the role of variables. Okay, now let's say we want to add 5 and 10. These are two numbers. Now simply we cannot give an instruction to the computer that okay, do 5 plus 10. Do 5 plus 10. This is not possible. What we have to do instead is that we have to create variables. Okay, now how to create variables? See, creating variables. Now when we are creating variables, how to create a variable? You just give the data type. For example, we have addition of two numbers, right? So the two numbers are what? Of integer type. So we will write int a equal to 5. So look at this statement. Int a equal to 5. The meaning of this statement is that this is the data type. This is the variable and this is the value of the variable. Okay. Now see how to create variables. See, there are two ways. You can simply create a variable. Creating variables. This is one way. This is the first way. This is the second way. Okay. So basically, what do we have? Int a equal to 5. This is what we have assigned. This is the data type. This is the data type. This is the variable's name, and this, my dear friends, is the value to this assigned to this variable. This 5 is assigned to this variable. Now let us look at this in terms of memory. Okay. So int is the data type that we are going to use. A. When we write this statement, it means what? That this block of memory, for example, it is 2 bytes. This is consuming, let's say, 2 bytes. So when I write this statement, what means is that this is a block of memory which I have booked with a name, which I have blocked or given a name A. So a variable gets created with how much space? A space of 2 bytes. Now in this 2 bytes I have allocated this value 5. Okay. So in this memory block, this 2 bytes is being booked for putting in some values. Okay. So this block or this block of memory name is A. This block of memory's name is A. It is occupying 2 bytes and we can assign any value according to our wish. For example, I can give the value 11 here. If I write 11, that means what? 11 gets stored here in this place. Okay. And the second way, we can just declare the variable. This is the variable, right? I can give any name to it. Don't be confused about this. I can give any name. For example, int, let's say x. Okay, that means what? I have blocked a memory of 2 bytes. I have blocked a memory of 2 bytes for creating a variable named x. Okay, for creating a variable named x. Now in this x, no value is assigned, right? In this x, no value is assigned. That means what? When we create the program or when we write the program, we have to take value from the user. Okay, so for putting any value to a variable, there are two types. Either you can predefine, or while writing the program you can assign the values to this variable, or you can take values from the user. This is already value, in this case value already assigned, but in this case we have to take value from user. Okay, so I hope it is little bit clear that what are variables and why to create variables. See, now this, I hope it is clear how to create variables. Now why do we create these variables? Okay, let us go to our basic problem, that is addition of two numbers. Let us go to the basic problem of addition of two numbers. Now let's say we have two numbers. Now simply we cannot, as I told you, simply we cannot write 11 plus 6 and give a command that computer do this. No, it will not do. Instead what we have to do, we have to create three variables, x, y and sum. Okay, this variable, now in the just now what we learned, how to create a variable. Let's say int x equal to, let's say, 5. Okay, so that means what? 5 is assigned here. 5, the value of 5 gets assigned here, and we have to take another variable int y. Let's say we put another variable's value, let's say 11. So 11 gets stored where? 11 gets stored here. Now what is the process? Sum equal to x plus y. Now what does this mean? This means that whatever value these two variables hold, whatever value these two variables x and y, whatever values these two variables are holding, there is a third variable named sum. Now when this process goes, this is the formula, right? This is the formula, and the result is being stored in the variable known as sum. This is the sum variable. So here the result, that means what? X value is how much? 11. Y value is how much? 5. The result is 16. So this 16 gets stored in this variable sum, this new variable. So 16 gets stored here, and see, why do we need to store here? Because it will not keep the result anywhere. You have to allot a specific memory location for storing the result. Otherwise, how will you show it? There is no way of displaying it, right? So it has to be saved somewhere. The result or the addition of two numbers, the result has to be stored somewhere. Only then it is possible to display this. Okay. So I hope it is clear that how to create variables and how it is related to the memory. Okay. Then coming to some keywords. Now coming to some keywords. Okay, now what are keywords? Keywords are special words in any programming language. Okay, so what are keywords? Keywords are certain special words in any programming language which we cannot use according to our wish. Okay, we cannot use these special words in programming language according to our wish. For example, there are many keywords. Okay, let's say int. I know it is a data type, but this is a special keyword. Okay, what I mean to say is that you cannot use it for making you cannot use these keywords according to your wish. It has a specific function only. Okay, for example, let's say I want to create a variable int a equal to 5. This is the data type, this is the variable's name, and this is the value. This is the data type, this is the data type, this is the variable name, and this is the value, right? So till now it is okay. Now what I mean to say is that I can put any name here. This variable a has the value 5. That means what? This is the variable a which has a value 5. Now I can give any name to this variable except you cannot put any keywords as the name. For example, let's say double, float, int, char, right? So these are special words or keywords. These all are data types, but actually these are keywords. So these keywords cannot be used as variable names or any other function. Okay, it cannot be used it cannot be used to give name to a variable. For example, what I mean to say is that you cannot create a variable and give its name as double. You cannot create a variable and give its name as double. You cannot create a variable and give its name as, for example, char. This int char equal to 5. So what till now this is the data type, this is the name that you have given, this is the name that you have given to this variable, and it is having the value 5. Now is it valid? No, it is not valid because you have used this keyword here for giving the variable name, which is not valid according to C++. Okay. So what are keywords basically? Keywords are certain special words which have certain specific function and specific meaning. For example, main. This is also a keyword. So you cannot give any name like this. You cannot give, suppose this is the data type char. This is the data type char. Okay. And suppose you are declaring a variable of character data type and you are giving its name as main. Now this cannot have this is a variable that you have created as character type and it is holding the value ABC. That is a string, right? So it is not valid. Why? Because this main is a keyword. You cannot use keywords for making any variable name or any other function. Okay, it will do whatever. These keywords are meant for some specific function and you cannot use it otherwise for according to your wish. Okay, so I hope keywords are clear. Now let us look at a very simple structure of a C++ program. Okay. Now see, students, this is a simple structure of a C++ program, okay? So let me explain you part by part. See, whatever you see, this is the header file. This part is known as the header files, okay? This part contains the header files. This main, this int main or void main, whatever you have, is the main. This is the main function of the program. Okay, this is known as the main function. Then these int sum, int a, int b, these all are what? Variable declaration. Okay, these are the variable declaration. Now this, I hope it is clear. This is the process. This is the process or the formula. sum equal to a plus b, right? Now what is the C out? What is the C out? See students, C in and C out. These two statements in C++, why is C out and C in used? See, C out is used to display. Now, int sum, this is one variable, int a equal to 5, this is another variable, and you have int b equal to 10 as some other variable. Okay. Now, sum equal to a plus b. When sum equal to a plus b, that means what? Whatever values you have given. For example, 10 plus 5, the result is 15. So 15 will be stored here. 15 will be stored in here, and at last C out means what? It is used to display. C out statement is used to display. Let me write it here. C out is used to display values to user. Okay? C out is used to display values to the user. Now see, this sum holds the value 15. Now simply you cannot store the sum. You have to display it to the user as a result. So what it will do, this C out statement it will display the sum is, and what is the value in sum? 15. So it will show it like this. It will be displayed like this, as the sum is 15. This is the end result which will be displayed, right? So this C out is used to display values to the user. Okay. Now similarly, there is another function known as C in. C in, suppose n. So C in n, what does it mean? It means that it is asking the user to put values. That means what? It is used to take values from the user, right? So C in statement is used to take values from the user. And lastly, return 0. This is known as the return statement. This is known as the return statement. See, whenever this program gets executed, at last return 0 is written so that it can indicate the main function that okay, the program has executed successfully. You can compare it to like the delivery confirmation of a text message. See, whenever you send any text message to your friend, when your friend has received it, you get a confirmation, right? Similarly in WhatsApp, when you use WhatsApp, when there is a blue tick, you are sure that okay, the other person has read it, right? So in the same way this works. So return 0 is an indication that it indicates the main function that okay, this program has executed successfully, it has executed successfully, and it can be compiled now, or the result can be shown now, right? So it helps, or it is giving a indication to the main function that okay, the program execution was successful. Okay, so I hope these parts are clear, and in the next class we shall be discussing more on this type or structure of a C++ program. Okay, thank you students.